the opportunity to stand where God allows me to stand without acknowledging the shoulders of the go to the gospel I get the opportunity to stand on. I'm mindful of the work that Whitfield Nottage put in. I'm mindful of the work that William Gray Jr. put in. I'm mindful of the work that Daddy King put in. Mindful of the work that Leon Sullivan put in. Mindful of the work that Martin Luther King Jr. put in. Mindful of the work that Joe Roberts put in. Mindful of what Billy Gray put in. Leon, let me back up and put the growth into perspective from my personal experience. Leon showed me the entrepreneurial Jesus. He showed me the power of economic entrepreneurial self-sufficiency for our community. Um, I was 12. I saw Billy um, Herbie. His dad, Bill Craig Jr., was Billy. Um, Will Gray III, that's Herbie. I was there. I was seeing one day. Who you calling? Yeah, yeah. I was there. I was 12 in 1991 when Herbie left Congress to run a Nine Negro College Fund. He showed me. Well, I asked him what the frick, because it was this whole scandal. Folks saying this. Da, 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 da. It's like, yo, what the frick? He was like, don't ever forget this. Um, these Negroes ain't read their Bible. Jesus talked about you can serve God and mammon. God and he made a point to drill into my head. One of the things that I teach, that mammoth isn't money. Mammoth is the pursuit of money. It's the pursuit of the title. It's the pursuit of the thing. So you say, I never wanted to be a politician. I'm a Baptist preacher, a point guard. Um, this is about impact, right. Um, but Joe, when it came time for me to learn how to be a shepherd, Billy's running a United Negro College Fund, raising billions of dollars for the development of little black boys and girls. In order to learn the power of prophetic presence, um, I learned that from Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts. Um, I'm always going to build an Ebenezer. I mean, just because when in 1934, when the Goats came back, Whitfield launched Ebenezer Community Tabernacle, or a chapel, inside of Philadelphia. Um, William Gray turned Bright Hope up to another level, and Mikey changed his name to Martin Luther, and his son named Martin Luther in response to German dealers. Martin Luther. Boom. Whitfield, Ebenezer, kind of because he got cataracts and all that. So I'm a builder. All of the goats we build out the mud and something like that. Boom. So it is the Ebenezer Kingdom community is an effort. All right. And so in order to see how to build, right? Like a lot of folk sitting up inside of the Horizon Sanctuary, but God used Joe to build that bitch. That joint would have been in like Lithonia, all right? The fact that it's still on Auburn Avenue, Reverend Dr. Joseph Morris Roberts, he did that. And when folk found out he was retiring, they was ready to take their bag back. He was like, "No, I'm chilling. I'm still here, even though I'm still here." Um, that premise, that principle is carried through Urban Success University. Even though folk like USU still here, Yoki not here, is she still here? Folk like KU, but we're not, but I'm still here. I got that from Joe. Listen, y'all, today, well, not really today, but a couple days ago, um, is a iconic milestone, and I feel as though it's the work of the Lord. But I'm borrow some language from from from, from the culture. It's a major milestone for my ministry. Yo, what? I never said it before. It's a major milestone. Um, it's about the journey that brought me here. And if I'm gonna talk about that journey, I gotta pay homage to the gospel giant who walked me through understanding how to really walk it out. And that's Reverend Dr. Joseph Barnes Roberts. Daddy King said, "Let me make it plain, but let me make this clear. This man wasn't just a pastor. He wasn't just another voice in the pulpit. When you look at the Believing Soldier Battalion, he was a general, a kingdom warrior, a shepherd who didn't just talk the talk. He walked the walk, and he walked it right through the fire, right alongside of God's people. Daddy King um, passed the baton to this man. Daddy King would always say, "I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day, because these niggas talk too much and they ain't got no action." Joe said to me one day, he said, "KJ, your greatest sermon has nothing to do with the words that come out your mouth. It's the life in which you live. It's levels to this. It's levels to kingdom work." And Dr. Roberts, he functioned on a frequency that most of these never even reach. He didn't focus on teaching me how to pray, but he made sure to teach me how to make sure to listen to God. Y'all know that whole Eli Samuel lesson, like that though. How to move when the spirit says move. How to fight for the people who don't have nobody in their corner. He was the type of shepherd who didn't sleep on his people. I remember one of his last sermons. You know what I mean? Shook that thing. You heard me? 2005. Some of y'all might have heard about it. These sleepy, indifferent ass niggas. I'm gonna tell you what it felt like in that room. Wasn't no soft-spoken Sunday morning message. Felt like a prophetic earthquake hit the building. He said something that we should be reminded of. Said something we should be introduced to. Said something we should all reflect on. He said, "We can't sing we have overcome because the struggle not over." He said, "We cannot sing we have overcome because the struggle not over." That now I know that hit a little different. That ain't about comfort. That's about conviction. Mr. Chicago, Jersey Joe didn't let us sit in our complacency. He was a powerfully prophetic man who called out sleepy indifference with spiritual surgical precision. Holy Ghost sniper. You see, it's very easy to get caught up in the feel good parts of faith, the blessings, the victories, the hallelujahs. But it's something deeper that he pushed us toward. Something he got from Daddy King that he made sure to instill into us, challenging us to deal with the real struggle of our people and inspire them through the word of God. That the message doesn't change, but the message has to be contextual. That we have to be on the front lines of the real issues. Y'all know human trafficking of our daughters, mass incarceration of our sons. the broken systems. He saw it all. And he refused to let his congregation sleep through the suffering of the people. He stood in the pulpit and he said, if I'm going to put a face on this, I got to imagine somebody sweeping up one of my 3 granddaughters. Now, that wasn't a metaphor for him. That was real. That was raw. That was uncut. It shook every person in the room to the core. That's that's the standard Joe set. It's how he prepared us. How he showed me how to walk. I ain't getting too deep. I'm real surface, giving you just a glimpse of what he mean to me. It wasn't about sermons and sound bites. God, as I told you, placed giants of his gospel in my life. Told you. Leon showed me the economic self-sufficiency of the entrepreneurial Jesus. William Gray, impact over position. Joe Roberts, that's my shepherding mentor, taught me the importance of prophetic presence in the lives of God's people, especially his children. Not don't just be a hearer of the word and not a doer. Not just hearing, but walking out what the Father showed me. Taught me how to stand 10 toes down in this thing, even when it felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. Son, your job ain't playing it safe. It's to tell the truth and fight for the people at the bottom. That's what he told me. Over and over and over and over and over and over again. When you look at everything I've done, that's what's at the core of everything I've done. You look at the Kingdom Marketplace, you look at the Believing Soldier Battalion, you look at the Urban Success University. Before and after we lost the Yokemeister, shit ain't got nothing to do with me. It's about honoring a blueprint that was laid for us. He the one that got me in the room to close the Kingdom Press deal. Without that, listen, the folk got the testimony service. Let me testify. It wouldn't have been no TKM, no Kingdom Marketplace. I knew Craig King was gonna sell me the frick out. Who you think helped me pimp him in the deal, Joe? Why you think when you look at all the major churches inside of Atlanta Metro, I did 46 paper church directories. Elizabeth Baptist, I did that. House of Hope, I did that. New Birth, I did that. Why you think Ebenezer ain't never Joe? Period. Tonight, I'm in a different space, y'all. I got my last gift from Jersey Joe. And say it before y'all, say it again. I wish heaven had visiting hours. I gotta ask, how'd you know, Joe? This ain't my milestone, y'all. This is our milestone as a people. You know, we talk a lot about ML Jr. You don't know about the responsibility of Daddy King after they killed ML. After they killed AD. You know, y'all niggas know Daddy King said I'd rather see a sermon and hear one any day. Y'all be watching the movies. When they get the boss, they stop. Well, when they got ML, they ain't stop. When they got AD, they ain't stop. They came to get Daddy King miss, killed his wife in front of our prophetic big mama of the house, then the big baby, right, in front of his baby girl, right? Our great Dr. Willie Christine King Ferris. What? Listen, he said in Inescapable Christ, when I came to Ebenezer, I was that boy preacher. Then I looked up and they started calling it my church. But I couldn't quite do it the way my late father-in-law did. I had to be me. Now I'm old enough to say what needs to be said. I didn't have to leave Ebenezer. They didn't want me to leave. But I know if I stayed in a heavy political responsibility, it'd cut off a few of my days. That this now y'all put into perspective, they had blown a black Baptist church off the corner with some little girls playing in the basement. And the corner of Auburn and and Jackson Street, the heritage sanctuary of the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, is not the cornerstone of prophetic black men. No, 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 it's not. It's not. Not. It's not. It's mommy central. It's the cornerstone of prophetic black women. Now, all the isms are based on insecurity, racism, and sexism. The black church talks about being dealing with the ism and talk about dealing with racism, but it's still sexist as fuck. That's Jenny Celeste Parks' building. That lady ain't go to Spelman College. She ain't go to Spelman Seminary. That lady went to the Atlanta Black Female Seminary. You know who Alfred Daniel Williams was? Her boyfriend, her boo boo, her freaking out fuck you up. You fuck with this lady. That's who Alfred Daniel Williams was. They had a daughter, Albertine. Right? That's who Big Mama was. That's who Mama King was. You know what she got? She had a little hood boyfriend. That's what happened. Daddy King, he ain't had no formal religious training. He ain't want to be no preacher. He was in the hood. He was renting a house. I mean, renting a room in the house. And Alfred found out that he was kicking it with Mama King. He gave him that ultimatum. Daddy's no. And up in my daughter, when you up in my crib, Negro got a Bible on one hand, a moss burn on the other. Hey, which one you want, dog? I really love her. She really, you know what I'm talking about? I'll take her. He said, okay, cool. Come on in. Became youth minister. AD died. He became the pastor. 1931. 3 years in, that's when he went on the friggin' International Baptist Convention trip with his big homie in the pastoral game, Will Gray Jr. They hooked up with the non-American with Phil Nottage had a copy of the slave Bible. That's where all this shit started. All right. And so, boom, you understand? And so, guess what? Guess what happened? You know who was beside his big baby girl ever since her mama got shot in front of her? Isaac Ferris Sr. Now, Isaac Ferris Sr., a goat, roll with her all the way through, all the way through, all the way through. What? Boom. Look. I'm calling some shit out. You want to know who the goat of Isaac Ferris Sr. and Isaac Ferris and Mama Ferris? They got Dr. Angela Ferris Watkins. I'm don't mind me. It's Black History Month. I'm just sipping my tea. Y'all want to know Ebenezer about first daughters? Jenny Celeste Parks, Albertine, um, uh, uh, Willie Christine. Oh, that's the team. Angela Ferris Watkins and Willie Watkins' baby girl, the princess, the prophetic one, the boss baby girl. Y'all know who she is. Y'all know how this thing really line up. You better respect the princess. Look, that's how that go over there. All right, ML, first daughter, the Funtown baby. That's the Yolkmeister. Look. I mean, you want to know what Bernice and Alvita got in common? They number two, and so you look when you in that prophetic line, you're gonna be on the prophetic. You ain't gonna be on the stuff. And so when you look at you know what I mean? And look. My little sister is my little sister. Okay, my little sister disagreed with me a lot of times, but I'm gonna tell you what my little sister do. She respect me as her big brother. All right. So you gotta respect our prophetic big sister as as who she is. Like yo, she done changed the game in her own right. I mean, Angela's a beast over there at Spelman, like for real. Like when it comes to imparting um black women who are the genesis and genius of our development. Like you gotta acknowledge Jenny Celeste Parks because of who her students is. You know how many women been impacted by this Spelman group. Listen, you know the longest tenured professor in Spelman history. That's the great Dr. Willie Christine King Ferris. Do you know everybody, mama, damn near that came from Spelman? Every teacher is a damn Spelmanite. That's legacy. You know what daughter is? The only person that could ever impact and break that legacy is Angela over there. She like a friggin' goddess, the goddess of the psychological department. She done impacted all types of babies who done turned into that's legacy right there. What? Look, there is assaulting Black American history. I'm just giving my folk the tea. Now you know who done been that guardian, that iconic male figure of fatherhood. For Angela, well, it ain't hard. Her name Angela Ferris Watkins. Shit, you look, you in Atlanta, you know who Willie Watkins is. You see who running shit. His daughter. That's the boss. I don't want no problem. None. See, I deal with anything in the flesh, but I don't fuck with the prophetic. I just be acknowledging it and moving right along. Y'all let me just go and get another sip of this thing. Joe, like, well done, sir. Yes, sir. I tried to told y'all this is not my milestone. This is our milestone. And when this fuck nigga is up there on Donald Trump lap, when hit, you know, Alvita up there doing a commercial for all the fuckers up in the White House with this nigga right now, then I mean shit, look, you know what I mean? Like somebody gotta deal with that bitch ass nigga and separate it. You feel me? Like it's always one, y'all. All right. Like nothing like his father, nothing like the legacy. He just, you know what I mean? Look, y'all, it's biblical. Y'all remember Moses? Aaron, the one who came up with the golden calf, Exodus 32. Aaron was related to Moses, but he wasn't chosen by God to go up on the mountain. Aaron, the one that sold the children of Israel out. Ask Isaac Ferris Jr. He'll tell you all about it. Matter of fact, look at his life. His grandfather told you that. The boy can't preach, but if you look at his life, Daddy can't he'd rather say a sermon than hear one anyway. Isaac preached that out. With his life is a testament to God. That proves to be right there. Exodus 32nd chapter. It's Isaac Ferris Jr. Yep. Listen, I'm proud to carry the torch of this hip hop hermeneutical heritage. I'm proud to make it plain. Proud to be the commanding officer in a believing soldier battalion. Co-command. Shout out to someone partner. I'm proud to be a member of Christ Platoon. I learned a lot from that boy. Proud to launch the Joe Roberts Officers Training Corps, JROTC. One of the things that Joe wanted was a parochial school, provide good kingdom education, mentorship, resources to our boys in the trenches. And that's what the JROTC platoon of the Believing Soldier Battalion does. Train young men to be spiritual warriors, leaders of tomorrow. Got the Young King Academy, taking it to another level, putting a little bit more emphasis and attention, making sure the sons of Joe's single mom ministry, the Mompreneur Squad, I'll get that to a minute, got the power of prophetic presence. Joe showed us that that particular ingredient was prophetically paramount. Mompreneur Squad, that we talked about, that continuing that fight for the single mom ministry he created. You know, those that have been overlooked for too long, those raising our babies, our little boys. Our daughters got that brains over boobs movement. Make sure you go to brainsoverboobs.com. Our daughters standing 10 toes down over the over-sexualized culture, trying to objectify them. They be an example, showing the world they know that they know that their most powerful, potentially profitable, God-given asset is their brains, not their boobs. You got to support that. You got to support and empower our young women to rise above the over sexualization of the culture and embrace their God-given power. That's important. And let me say this: if if you think that Joe's work was about the church walls and Sunday service, you missed the memo. You weren't paying attention. He was battling systems that were designed to crush our people. Showed me how to do the same without losing faith or my fire. You know, his final words to me: don't quit, keep fighting, tell the truth. Our last literal conversation, I reflect on every single day. I just finished that assignment. We had talked about extensively the United Nations Global Decade Celebration of People of African Descent. This meant the world to this goat. See, he really focused on the meaning of the African crosses in the Horizon Sanctuary, and the lessons and points he had gotten from Daddy King about his encounter with this in Whitfield in 1934, and important points that we and our generation and our children need to make sure he got. He emphasized the perspective that he knew that I got from Will Gray Jr. He knew because Billy died first. My father died second. So this was after Bill Gray, as his spiritual father, had shut his eyes. It was after my father, as a biological father, had shut his eyes. I was still having these talks with Joe. And the last three orders he gave me: don't quit, keep fighting, tell the truth. You know what? I keep my promise. I can't quit. I've been doing this shit my whole life. Billy said something in one of his little interviews and shit. He's like, this what I know. This what I've taught that the black preacher does. Like, they're called survival ministries. Like, this is faith in action. This is like, I don't know. It's the job, ain't it? Job, ain't the job. I'm too far in the sweat. I'm training too many. I'm already passing the baton. Like, this is already about this. I don't know. It doesn't end. It's a continuation. That's how this thing goes. Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts might have shut his eyes on February 17th. I can't even get that date out. 2015. But his work didn't stop. It's alive in everything that we're doing. The work of Daddy King alive in everything that we're doing. The work of Whitfield Knowledge alive in everything we're doing. The work of William Gray Jr. alive in everything we're doing. Daddy King alive in everything we're doing. Marty and everything we're doing. ML and everything we're doing. Listen, this is what it is. On February 17, 2025, let y'all know what I got. Part of each one of the founding members' succession plan is 10 years later, if I'm still in my capacity as dean, I get their shares and I get their little last name. Okay. So February 17, 2025, I received Dr. Robert's shares in the Urban Success Foundation. Those shares aren't mine. They belong to every soul who's ready to keep fighting for our children in the kingdom. A lot of folk know November the 3rd, 2020, I was leaving a voting rally on my way to a listening party. I got pulled over, extracted from my vehicle, shot up with a bunch of tasers, denied my ability to really vote, and held illegally for like 6 days, and it scared the fuck out of me, right? Scared. And outside of the impact that it had on my daughters, the biggest challenge that it had for me was I had never thought. I've been fighting for police brutality and abuses of power for our boys since Kenny, my best friend, got shot by the Muscogee County Sheriff's Department December the 10th, 2003, on the side of I-85 in a truck full of my friends, point blank range, and never claimed he had a gun. The 19-year anniversary of which was when the weaponization of the National Park Service at the Horizon Heritage Sanctuary. But it's one thing when you're fighting after the incident; it's something else when you're involved in the incident. And I had situations in my life where I looked at a nigga who pulled out on you. It's something different when you're looking down the barrel and it's held um, by a crooked shield. Um, it does something to you. And outside of thinking about my daughters, my sons, you don't think about the sons, think about daughters. I did, and and you think about my succession plan. And that was the thing. Everybody's like, "Hey, you all right? Cool, bro. Because without you, ain't know what the fuck to do." Wow. And so a lot of folk been the last couple of years really been building this success and really making sure that we can get the Gerald OTC platoon off the ground, like folks have seen Christ platoon now, 13 years. Biggest drug corner in North Philadelphia turned into the sanctuary. To catch the prison ministry. That's iconic. Um, our sons in Atlanta have watched that, like, yo, we want to emulate that, but they be stiff arm, silent indifference. A lot of folks talk about equity, diversion, what is DI, diversion, equity, and inclusion, and they talk about how Trump doing a lot of vote. But that's kind of how the folk in the Horizon Sanctuary have been doing the next generation of our youth. That's why they ain't over there, because they even step out by the vote. Listen, let me get y'all up out of here. Dr. Roberts once said, "You never win a victory by yourself. When we link together and realize the presence of the continuing struggle, then we will be able to say, we shall overcome." So I'm here to tell you tonight, Joe was right. The struggle ain't over. We can't yet say we have overcome. Struggle ain't over, but the kingdom is rising. Thank you, God, for the life, legacy, service, mantle, instruction, mentorship, and prophetic presence of the life of the great Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts. Joe, your legacy will never die. The fight goes on, and the truth will be told. Senior shepherd, servant, leader, I got you back, you know what I mean? Now I can't end this because, well, this ain't over. Take this here slave by me. get filled with that legacy and take this here. That's how I got this John Maxwell Bible. When John Maxwell was doing his little thing in the black community, it was Will Gray and Joe Roberts. Take my little cell phone Bible thing here. I'm going here in these trenches. Our children. And for those of y'all who be jumping in the comment talking about what's up with that picture of y'all got it goofy. Okay. Y'all remember Planet of the Apes? Y'all remember Caesar? Y'all remember how he took out the little weirdo? Them niggas came, he was like, yo, listen, y'all not really coming for war. If you want war, nigga, we'll give you war. We don't even want war. We just want peace. It's like Caesar would have split the geniuses, the baby girl geniuses, Srvnt Successful University. Spiritual baby girls game. I like it. Like y'all too. Y'all terrorists and chief. Hey man, I love y'all almost as much as the Father on behalf of the Father. Have an amazing day on purpose. Never forget, man, the Father made you amazing on purpose. We got work to do. Let's get to it. King God the glory. King you back.